Let's use our knowledge of the 4 criteria for congruence of triangles in this example. So the question reads, select a pair of congruent triangles, stating a reason for your answer. So out of the 3 triangles, there are 2 triangles which are congruent and 1 which is not. The first thing you want to do is try and determine which of those 2 are congruent. And then from there, we're going to have to state a reason. Alright, so what I normally do is I normally circle a piece of information within one of my triangles. So here I'll circle 65 degrees. You could have circled the length 4 on this side. You could have circled the length 3, and you also could have circled 70 degrees. It didn't matter which one, but I normally go for an angle. Because from here, what we're going to try and do is determine if all your other dimensions are in the same location relative to what you've circled in that triangle and also your other triangles. Because remember, with congruence, your triangles need to be identical in shape, identical in size, and identical in your angles. So from your 65 degrees, if you go up, meaning the adjacent length or adjacent side to 65 degrees is 4. Now you need to determine if that's the case with your other triangles. Let's see if we can do that. So let's circle 65 on our second triangle. If we go up, now take note that the triangle has been rotated, so this is going up. If you go up, it doesn't look like we landed a 4 there. There's nothing there, we don't know what length it is, but we can determine that it's not going to be 4 because this angle of 65 is not equal to this angle of 70. They are not the same. And so if this is 4, that just cannot be 4. So we know that triangle 1 and triangle 2 are not congruent. Let's go ahead and rub this out. Let's try and see if triangle 1 is congruent with triangle 3. So if we circle 65 and we go up, we land at a length of 4, like we did with triangle 1. So that's a good start. Let's keep going. Let's see if we can test our other dimensions. So starting from 65 again, if we go diagonally right or diagonally opposite, we land at 3. With our triangle 3, if we go diagonally opposite, we get to 3 also. Now, with our first triangle, if we go to the right and we get to 70 degrees, let's see if that happens with our third triangle. Going to the right. Well, in this case, there isn't a 70 degrees there, but we can determine if it is because we know, or we have the information to do that. We know that the sum angle of a triangle is 180 degrees. So therefore, these two combined, so 65 degrees and 45 degrees, that makes 110. The remaining angles must be 70. So this is 70. Therefore, we have just determined that triangle 1 and triangle 3 are congruent. So what letter combination are we going to use in our statement? So I'm going to use a different colored stylus to circle the information that we're going to use for our congruence statement. And so it's going to come down to 3 pieces of information. Remember the letters that we need for congruence? It's either going to be SSS, SAS, ASA, or RHS. Now we know it's not RHS because this triangle or these triangles are not right angles. So let's see what we're going to use and then we'll determine what test that will be. So I'm going to use, now it doesn't matter what we use, but I'm going to use 65 degrees. I'm going to use 70 degrees and I'm going to use the length 4. So we have a side, an angle, and an angle. Now the letter combination that we will use for our congruence statement will be ASA. So ASA is what we're going to use. I'll write it here, ASA. So we're going to write a congruence statement. So this is addressing the second part of the question, so stating a reason for your answer. This is how we state a reason for our answer. The first line is going to be an opening statement, but before we start our statement, what we need to do is label each of our corners of our triangle. So A, B, C, and then D, E, F. Each corner needs to be labeled because that's going to help us reference the position of the angles and the position of the sides. All right, so our first line will be this. Our opening statement. In triangle ABC and triangle DEF, so that's our opening statement. Our first letter that we're going to use as our reason is going to be A, and that is reason 1. So A, reason 1, colon. A stands for angle, right? So we need to use our first angle, which will be 65 degrees. Now, I could have used the 70-degree angle for my first reason. It did not matter, but I circled this one first, so I'll go with 65 degrees. Okay, I'm going to write this. Angle ABC. The reason why I wrote angle ABC is because, well, this is the symbol for angle. We're dealing with an angle here, and ABC corresponds to the position that 65 degrees is on my triangle. So the letter that the angle is closest to, so B, must be in the middle of the 3 letters, and then you just go around from the outside. So it'll be A, B, C, because that's the angle that you're making, right? A, B, C. I could, if I want to, I could write CBA, because I'm still making that same angle. I'm just going backwards, so that's it. That's fine also. But I'm going to go with ABC. So angle ABC is congruent with angle. Now, what position is 65 degrees in on our other triangle, on our other congruent triangle? So over here, there's our 65 degrees, and the position that it's in is EDF or FDE, either way. I'll use EDF. So it's congruent with angle EDF. That's our first reason. Our second reason, so after A comes S, so ASA, remember? So S, reason 2, colon. Now, for a side, now we're going to use 4 for our side. We determined that. So 4 is going to be our side. The position that 4 lies on is AB. So we don't need 3 letters to determine or to locate a side. It's just going to be 2. So AB. You could also do BA if you want. It doesn't matter. I'll go with AB. So you're going to write AB, again, is congruent with, now what line correlates with the line on our first triangle in our second? So here it is here. That's going to be either DE or ED. I'll go with DE. DE. So that reads, so for the side, reason 2, line AB is congruent with line DE. Our last reason is our last letter, which is going to be A, so that's angle, and that's our third reason. Reason 3, colon, angle. Now, for this angle here, it's going to be ACB. So angle ACB is congruent with angle DFE. Angle DFE. There are 3 reasons. We have proven congruence, and we are going to write a conclusive statement. Therefore, triangle ABC is congruent with triangle DEF.